Hey guys, this is John.
And Austin.
This is another episode of the Meatgistics podcast presented by Waltons. Stopped there that time. Didn't do it 2 weeks in a row. So we've got a bunch of things we want to get through, but we've got some food items that I'm really excited about. In fact, I forgot one. I will grab that in a second here. First thing I want to try is this jalapeno cheddar bread that a employee of ours, his wife makes and sells at local whatever farmers markets.
That was the world's worst cut.
I'm at a weird angle. That bad piece is your piece.
That's fine.
It's nice and dense and moist. I like that. You might as well just call this the eating podcast.
Yeah.
Bread is so good. Like, I love meat.
That is phenomenal.
Oh, it's a bread episode.
I love meat. What we do is all related to meat. It's so good. But it would be so hard to just live off of like meat alone. You got to throw in bread, carbs, cheese. It'd be horrible to be like keto diet, like no carbs.
I mean, it's kind of what I was doing for a while. I lost 20 pounds really fast, so it's not all terrible.
So I was told that if you go on keto, you can lose a lot of weight. But like when you come off of keto, you are going to gain weight.
I mean, you might put on a few pounds back, but no, you can keep all that weight off.
Okay.
100%. I mean, if you go right back, if you go right back to your old like junk eating habits, yeah, you will eventually put it back on, but that's with anything, right? It doesn't matter what you do. So this is delicious.
Yeah, I was about to say, so what level of heat you got? Like, what's the level?
Oh, very low levels.
How much cheese rate? You know, what do you got there?
There's a good amount of cheese, and what I like is it's not just on the outside; it's sprinkled throughout.
It's
Same thing with the jalapenos. Yeah. A lot of times with these breads, they'll fake you out, and it's just the top that has the stuff, and in the center, it's good, but it's just bread.
Yeah,
this is better than that.
Or sometimes like you get a bread like this and the outside of it is just too hard.
Yeah.
It's more crusty. That is just moist throughout. Outside to inside, it's delicious.
All right, that's pretty close to perfect, to be honest.
So, do you know which farmer's market?
I don't.
Okay, we'll have to find out because one, going back, I will find where they sell it and buy it instead of just guilting one of your employees to bringing it in.
Well, we could also have him bring it in and then pay him for it. So you don't have to go hunt down his wife at a farmer's market.
It's kind of the experience, though, going to the farmer's market.
Oh, I thought you meant hunting a human.
No.
Yeah, this is absolutely delicious. Now, there's a problem. Monique, who's a purchasing employee here, heard me talking about my ice cream preferences, and I said pralines. So she brought me some candied pralines. I ate half the thing in like literally 45 minutes this morning to the point where my stomach was hurting. So now we're eating more carbs.
Oh, you ate that like earlier today. Great.
So I'm all jacked up on caffeine. Or was it say Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew.
Okay.
People are trying to kill you, dude. All this awesome food.
So we will eat that throughout. Then we've got some other stuff. Our latest batch of 30-pound electric sausage stuffers came in. I went and pulled a random one out of inventory and did some testing on it. So I made some pork and some beef snack sticks. I just made some chicken snack sticks that I thought were amazing. So I wanted to use the same seasoning on all of them. And then we can talk about the differences in taste, texture, whatever, across seasonings. So these three are buffalo beef, these three are buffalo pork, and these ones are the chicken.
Okay. Everything like the same.
Encapsulated citric acid, Sure Gel, same cheese.
Well, you're starting chicken first.
I'm starting chicken first. Did you get another one?
Every time, like not every time. Most of the time I take a bite of a piece of meat that you've made something, I get like a piece of bone.
Now hold on.
Or gristle. I've been into something very hard.
These are chicken thighs, and obviously they did not do a good job cutting out all the...
There's cartilage in there.
Yeah. And surprisingly, the cartilage made it through... Just put it like right here or something. The cartilage made it through a 1/8 plate.
Yeah.
That's surprising to me. Now, you won't have that problem with these ones because they're not chicken. However, these are the snack sticks I made a post about on Meatgistics that Tex told me was basically unreadable. I had gone home, I'd had a good stiff 2 fingers of whiskey and was walking my dogs as I was posting that. So they're pulling on me. Was not my best.
I was going to say, were you voice texting? Because you send me voice text sometimes.
They're terrible.
Your phone does not understand.
Undecipherable.
It's bad.
Like and I usually just say it and then hit send and then look down. I need to get better at looking down first.
It's all periods he sends me. I'm like, can he? There's not a single word. It's just I mean, and I have to infer what the word is.
I'm a famously bad texter. I was great with T9. I was moving those fingers all around, but once you can't really use just your thumbs anymore, I struggle. All right, so what do you think about the chicken one?
That is so good.
Yeah.
Like, it should pair together. It's buffalo. It's chicken. You put those together in a snack stick. It has to be good. But it's past just like what you think. Like, to be honest, I think it tastes better than I think it should taste. That is one of like my favorite.
Okay.
I'd say snack sticks right now.
Well, I've got a package of them in there for you. So, and then we use 16 millimeter on that because I wanted to see if our electric stuffers could do 16 millimeter with, it's not going to do it with pork, not with beef, but with chicken. I mean, chicken's not dense enough. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not light, but just not dense enough.
Yeah, density.
That it went through, no problem. All right, let's move on to the pork one, where I promise you won't have a little piece of cartilage in there. It'd be amazing if you did, though.
You might.
Crunch. That's very good. I don't think it tastes as much like buffalo as that one does, though.
Yeah, it is a good flavor, but it's not as intense as with the chicken. I think it's just, either truly designed for chicken, or it's just that mental like thought process of like you think it should be and you taste something and it is. Like you're telling yourself what to expect. You ever like drink like a glass of water and you were expecting Diet Coke, right? And your brain like freaks out over it. My mind's kind of like
that's
that.
That's actually perfectly valid. Now, one other thing, these chicken snack sticks did have, I added 10% pork fat. So just a thing to keep in mind. Okay. And then on to the beef ones. I also am becoming more and more convinced that we're destroying things by not warming up snack sticks before eating them. Because the snack stick right out of the smoker is just amazing.
So if I'm eating snack sticks at home, I 100% microwave them every time. Right. All you need is like 10, 12 seconds. Why don't we have a microwave in here?
Thank you.
We're not getting a microwave.
That was my day one. That was my day one suggestion at this point. Just get a microwave right here. In fact, see that wall that's between offices? This is right there, so I don't even have to leave the room.
Just a little lazy Susan in the corner that just
a little hot pocket
flips
area.
From one side to the other.
I just threw some snack sticks in the toaster oven. We'll leave them in there for a couple minutes and see what we see.
So this brings up a question that I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to, but it's definitely like a personal preference deal to it. But what, between like snack sticks and summer sausage, what protein should you make stuff out of? Because I'd argue most of the time, I don't care. Pork, it's cheap. I'd rather do pork. Mm-hmm. But I would say in this case, to be honest, I'd probably say the pork is my least favorite out of these three. Chicken is the best, then beef, then pork. So does it kind of vary based upon what you're making?
Yeah. I think it varies more based on the flavor you're using than the product you're making. Because I would imagine if you made this in a summer sausage, like size casing, it would still be excellent. In fact, we might need to do that. But the flavor is what's important, not like the size of the casing. And, snack stick seasoning, summer sausage seasoning, they're so close that they're basically interchangeable.
Yeah. I don't know. So we were just, what do we do it for? for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. I don't remember now. I don't know. Thanksgiving. So we make like the little gift boxes. Employees can choose. They want ham, a turkey, or like a gift box. Brett Dillon and I were debating like, what are we making? And all of us basically came to the joint conclusion that we should do pork. Okay. And now I'm kind of questioning myself, and I'm like, should we not have just done beef? I don't know.
So they're summer sausages, right?
Summer sausages.
I mean, I think then the most you want to do is a 50-50 mix. I don't think you want to do a 100% beef summer sausage, in my mind at least. I don't think you want to do 100% beef summer sausage. So while those are warming up, we're going to move on to the next food item we have here. And this, if you follow our social media, you'll see that I posted something about this the other day. We're sitting in the room, the media room next door, and Dylan and one of his salesmen walk in and say to me, they're like, we hesitated to tell you this. He's like, but that dry cured product you have over there said is some of the best dry cured sausage I've ever had.
And this is the same stuff I tried the other day. Okay. So
this just came out of one of our dry curing cabinets that we're testing. And we used Land Jaeger as the basis for it. We then used TSPX. Just TSPX. And then it sat in there for about a month.
It's very good. Smells amazing. I mean, not really, but yes, it does. I don't know. It has the dirty feet smell, which doesn't necessarily smell great, but
record for how many times John gets up this episode. That's already 4.
We've got at least 2 more, so
perfect.
When you smell that dirty feet smell, you know it's going to taste delicious.
I don't think this tastes as good as the pepperoni. I just think the pepperoni lends itself to this style of sausage better than Land Jaeger. But the fact that our product specialist, vice president of sales, said that this is one of the best dry cured sausages he ever had, that may replace your grandfather telling me that the brisket I gave him was the best, or fed him was the best brisket he'd ever had. That might replace that as the feather in my cap.
So I had a problem with my air conditioner the other day. Had a guy come over to fix it because I was going to try, and normally I do. I feel like I'm somewhat handy, but some things have come up lately that I was just like, I'm not going to get this done. I'm like, I'm just going to call somebody out, have them come over, take a look at it. They got there, and they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, it just smells. It doesn't smell good. I don't know, like if it's mold or just musty or this and that. He's like, well, what do you think it smells like? And I'm like, dried sausage. And he was immediately like, oh, it's like stinky feet. And I'm like, that's amazing. Nice. I don't know. I've never met somebody just like randomly out there that like knew what I would be talking about like that. It's normally I'm talking to somebody that is in the meat industry that know what's going on, because dried sausage is not like a super big thing out there. But I was so glad that when I used that, because I couldn't think of anything else to describe it. But he was like, oh yeah, okay.
So first of all, what was it?
What was it? I don't know.
Did you fix it?
Kind of. Sprayed some sort of foaming cleaner on everything, and it's fine. He said that like sometimes it happens on some units and some not others. It can be, it's usually manufacturer specific, but you could have 2 units sitting right next to each other, different manufacturers. One will do it, one won't. Just happens sometimes during switchovers between heat and cold, or cold to heat, and something just gets off
growing in there,
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like to say, when I'm trying to describe what you're describing, in the wild, instead of meeting somebody in the meat processing industry, you met somebody in the wild, because it's just like you were out there and it wasn't a staged thing. So I'd say in the wild. All right. I think those are probably ready to try hot.
They must be toasty.
I'm going over to someone's house after work today. They were asking like, oh, well, what do you want to eat? I'll cook something. I'm like, no, this is podcast day. I don't eat dinners on podcast day because I eat so much during. recording. I'll do it after I get home.
It's so good
That's
hot.
so good hot. We need to come up with a little snack stick warmer. I don't know.
Like a roller grill, like from Quick Trip.
Something like that.
We used to sell those.
We did use some, but they had problems all the time, didn't they? The hot dog rollers.
I don't know. I don't think they were that bad. We just didn't sell a lot.
Try the beef one while it's hot.
Oh man, that snap.
I disagree. I think it went, this is the best, then chicken, then the pork. It's so good.
I don't know. It is very good, but I don't know. I'd take the chicken over beef.
Well, I guess you're allowed your opinion.
It's very, very close.
It frustrates me, but. And the pork's very good too. It's just not as good. So, this is a good reminder for us when we get a new seasoning in, don't just make it in pork, because that's 100% what I do all the time.
Yeah.
We should probably try making a dry cured out of beef as well.
Yeah. I wonder what do big producers of pepperoni do? Do they do a split? Or do they do all beef, all pork? All pork? Okay.
And it's all trimmings.
See how many dried sausages would be made out of beef? Like
I wouldn't think
most
many.
would be pork.
Yeah, I wouldn't think many. But again, I'm not anywhere near an expert on dry cured sausage. However,
do you want to see what you're an expert at right now?
Do I want to see my what?
You want to see if you're an expert at anything right now?
Oh, that's a great job, Patrick. Yep, let's do it.
All right,
Bring it on up. So this is part 2. We've got to put this away, by the way. That bread has to go away. I'm housing it. This is part 2 of our pop quiz. Patrick has come up with new questions for us. Did you bring us?
I got pins for you back there.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, oh wow, it's long.
15 questions.
Oh, ooh,
This is not good.
this is not good. Patrick stumped us.
I feel like Patrick did more research on this one than the last one.
He even had some people take the test to see how they did.
What was it? Do we get to know what the average score was?
One guy got 1 correct, and the other guy got 5.
Okay.
So listen, we have to beat 5 because 5 is the newest employee in there. Mason's been here like 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah. Do we get clarification on some of these?
Yeah, we can. Like I said, if it's not fun, we'll probably fast forward sections. But yeah, feel free to dive in whenever you guys want.
I'll try to be quick. So how do we want to do this? We're going to answer and like reveal one by one.
Yeah, I got the answers back there.
Well, I guess, yeah. I don't know. I said that weird.
Same
Should
way-
we do it one by one? Or are we filling the whole thing
Fill the
out?
whole thing and then we'll go back the same way we did it. For the audio version, he'll cut all this out. For the podcast on YouTube, just leave it all in.
Sure, yeah, people probably like it.
All right.
I finally get to try these.
Oh, man, you're
Chicken
killing
snack
trees.
sticks.
You didn't do front back printing.
I was wondering why that was the default setting. I didn't want to confuse myself though, because a lot of the questions look similar, and if I would have, that's why I labeled them 1, 2, and 3. So.
No, yeah, it's honestly on this. I'd rather just have front page only because otherwise, yeah, you get screwed up. It was a big circle. I could hear the.
Oh yeah, I probably just need to circle the number or the letter.
Dude, the beef ones yesterday were pretty sweet.
Okay, wait, I do need clarification. On the second one, what is the typical daily protein requirement for a growing beef calf? Are we talking about percent of their calories or percent of their body weight?
Read it again.
What is the typical daily protein requirement for a growing beef calf?
That sounds like what they need to eat, right? So
Correct.
Based on their I'm going to say their body weight.
Okay. That changes my answer for sure.
But is that what the answer? There's no way for me to make sure that the answer that I have even corresponds with what I'm saying, though.
I think that one is the percentage of their diet and intake, because I'm going to answer it based off of what dog food I buy, and because I buy dog food based upon the protein percentage.
So he's got an alphabet to use.
Well, yeah, we need to know that before we.
Well, I like what he's saying instead of because there's no way for us to know the cow's weight, I guess.
But that might be complete nonsense.
Who knows? But it's my rationale I'm running with, baby. Let's do this.
Well, I'm saying it's the other thing.
Asterisk it for now. We can come back to it.
I'm not happy.
Okay.
I'm not happy. I don't like this.
This isn't good.
This is not good.
We'll just jump right into it, guys.
Okay.
Let me finish the ice.
Let me stress eat
Yeah,
a little bit
please.
first,
Go for it.
please.
You have to do me a favor and read the questions.
Okay.
Because I only have the
Yep,
answer.
we gotcha.
All right. So,
What should a finished steer ready to butcher weigh?
okay.
2_ pounds, which doesn't make sense.
2 blank pounds.
Oh, so, okay. Well,
2 blank.
Fill in the blank. A, B, C, or D.
Yeah, but 2
blank to blank pounds.
blank to blank pounds would make more sense. All right, go ahead. Their answers are A, 1,000 to 1,100, B, 1,150 to 1,250, C, 1,250 to 1,350, D, 1,400 to 1,500.
All right. How'd you guys answer?
C.
B.
It is C.
Yes.
John's 1 for 1.
Okay.
All right.
Well, this is, yeah. We're just going to, next, on to Meat Matters. Here we go.
I thought he wanted to argue that.
All right.
Okay.
Number 2.
What is the typical daily protein requirement for a growing beef calf? 12 to 15, 16 to 18, 20 to 25, 30 to 35. Now, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we get to this, it was determined that we were saying it was the protein content of what they're eating, not the amount of protein they need based on their body weight.
Yeah. So if they ate a bowl of food, what percentage of that bowl is protein?
Okay. Patrick? Wait, hold on a second. I said C.
C.
B. 16 to 18.
All right. What is the length of the gestation period of a cow? 285 days, 365 days, 180 days, or 240 days? It's probably A, but I put D.
I put A, 285 days.
It is A. Austin,
knew it was
it's on
gonna be A.
board.
You know why I knew it was going to be A? 9 months and 7 days.
Yeah, all the other ones were too
Right.
specific
Yes.
of like this
And
many months. Nah.
If they had asked pigs, I would have known that from when we went up to Moo U University. They told us the gestation about pigs, but not cows at Moo U University. It's ridiculous. All right, so we're tied 1-1.
All right, cool. Going into question 4.
What is the food conversion ratio for cattle? It's 8-1, 4-1, 12-1, or 6-1. I put 12-1.
I put 12 because it's big. Big numbers, baby.
I got 8-1.
I don't even know what this means.
I don't even know what
though.
that means.
Then why did you ask the question? I'm assuming.
You think I thought of
I'm assuming it's the amount of feed that has to go into the animal. Like every pound of meat you get takes 12 pounds of hay or whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I said A and got that one right.
All right. Question number 5. Still tied up. Is what?
Who? I feel better.
What's the question?
Give an example of roughage or high feed or high fiber feed. Hay, corn, barley, or oats. I put A, and I'm pretty sure Austin did too because he looked at mine.
You guys are both right. It
There
is
you
hay.
go.
2-2.
All right,
through 5.
I also changed my answer for the food conversion. I now got that right.
No.
Just so we know.
No.
Put a smiley face next to it.
All right. Number 6. What is it?
What is the term finish describing? Degree of fatness and readiness for market, the process of grooming an animal for show, the age at which an animal is ready to slaughter, or the type of feed given to an animal before sale. I said D, the type of feed given to an animal before sale.
D.
It's actually A, degree of fatness and readiness for market.
It is not.
Right? It can't be, right? Because I
It
thought it was like
definitely
grass
not.
fed.
Yeah.
Can you read the question again? Maybe slower.
What is the term finish describing? a degree of fatness and readiness for market.
Maybe it's like,
I guess it kinda is.
How finished is it, maybe?
I guess it kind of is.
It's almost a trick question.
But they go to finishing lots where they're given
Sure.
specific types of feed to get them ready for market.
I'll put a line next to that one. Let's go ahead and...
Well, hold on. You've piqued Austin's...
This one, I'm going to the gods of Bing. Not Google. Bing.
Well,
he wants to
you're
hear
not going to get the right answer.
A ridiculous answer.
You want to find out that A is the right answer then.
Finished cows are cattle that have been raised at the beginning of their life on grass and then given grain at the end of their lives. This finishing typically takes place in feedlots, which do not have to meet the same standards of quality the pastures do. This sounds like a very biased type of thing that it's getting into, but we're just going to go with...
We were correct.
Yeah, we're correct because it's...
We were correct.
They're, yeah.
All right, we'll go 3-3. The answer is
On
D.
this entire thing, if there was one I was confident on, that was, well, one of the few I was confident on, that was the one. All right, so we're 3-3. Okay.
All right, go for
A
it.
table that gives a line of ancestors for an animal, a genealogical tree, is called what? A pedigree, a lineage, ancestral chart, or heritage record? I put pedigree.
I'm not answering until Patrick reveals.
It is pedigree.
Dang it.
Yes.
I had pedigree and I changed my answer because I was like, nah, that's just for
4-3.
dogs.
4-3.
But
All right. A small amount of marbling is necessary for juiciness and flavor of meat. This is true or false. Here's where I want to argue. Because the word small, a small amount, you could argue a large amount is required. But yes, you need some. So I put true.
I put true because
Okay.
large could be fine, but small is necessary.
Okay.
It
4 to
is
5.
Correct. True.
Yield, dressing percent, is the weight yield of the carcass as a percent of live weight. It's not a percent, so I put false.
It's actually they're saying true. So.
But it's not a
No,
percent.
it's true.
No, just
Because
because
is
you
that
wrote
what
it down.
you-
It's
Hey,
not, you don't,
it's-
the yield is what you get, right? It's not a percent.
No, it's a percent.
It is?
That's, I mean, my opinion. I got it right, so I'm not wavering off of that.
Oh, well, why would you? It's now 5-5 going into.
Well, hold on. We're going to the gods of Google this time. Yield of beef. Hot carcass weight. Once cooled, the carcass weight will be approximately 700. When deboned and trimmed, it will be approximately 500 pounds. Nowhere in there does it say percent.
very
Okay.
line.
The yield of beef is a percentage. Okay. Yep. Yep. Sounds good. We're 5-5.
Okay, let's just yada past that. All right, now this one was kind of controversial as well, or did you guys just
Name the
stop?
4 parts of a ruminant's stomach in
I have
order.
no idea.
A what? Ruminant.
Ruminant.
Ruminant stomach.
Yeah, it's an animal with hooves
yeah,
and
hoofed
multiple
animal.
stomachs.
Well, let's see if you know your
So
stuff.
A is rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum, or small intestine, large intestine, stomach, and liver. Esophagus, duodenum, cecum, and rectum.
I'm disappearing. You put a spell on me.
I wasn't sure, but I thought he put cecum and rectum together, so he like seek and rec. Gullet, gizzard, crop, vent. I don't think they a gizzard is specifically to have like stones in it, so I eliminated D and I went with A. What'd you go with?
Yeah, I went with A.
You guys are right. It is A.
There you go.
You know your rumens. Okay.
We are They're
All
6 to
I
6.
knew is that B, C, and D were not valid. I wasn't totally sure about A, but
There
I
you
knew
go.
that B, C, and D were wrong.
okay.
All right, we're got
All right, so we're 6 to 6 heading into the final page.
I have 7 actually.
the last.
You do not have 7. Well,
you
then
don't.
you've cheated.
No.
And I will go back to. All right,
He's
hold
Let's
on.
just keep going.
No.
It's,
I have 1, 2, 3, 4,
it's 6 to 6. I'm keeping
5.
count.
Okay, that's 6. Cheater.
Yeah, I have 6.
You're easy.
I'm just
I
stirring
got
the pot.
7. No, you don't.
Yeah, well, if you don't know that I'm easy to fool at this point, you guys are the dumb ones, not me.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
All right. What is the optimal temperature range for dry aging beef to achieve the best flavor and tenderness?
This is one that I should absolutely 100% get, and I'm very concerned. I don't think I got it.
Options are 32 to 36, 38 to 42, 45 to 50, 52 to 56. So I went with 38 to 42 because I know it's not D. A is too cold, so it was between B and C, and I just went with B.
Yeah, and with B. I thought C got too hot. Up to 50, that's too hot.
They
It's not that.
put D.
Did they really?
Yeah.
No
Yep.
way.
Yeah.
50s? In the
56.
50s?
We don't know much about dry aging beef.
Yeah.
So 6 to 6.
Well, the
okay.
more we learn, we can potentially protest it at a
Sure.
later point.
Sure. Which he's looking it up.
I don't
can't
blame
deal
him.
with it.
I mean, when you say 52
You
to
can't
56,
deal with it.
but it also
I mean,
seems
you
like
remember
that
you're
is a temperature
creating
we're
that
not-
outside
So I'm saying it's
barrier.
Like, it's like the temperature you never
That
want
is
it
what
to
it
be.
says?
Well, according to steakschool.com, you want to be 34 to 38 degrees Fahrenheit. So that kind of hits in the mark we put down. But
All right, don't. What did you? I'll look on Google
I wish you could do this at school. You go, well, I got something else
Optimal
to teach.
temp-
Now I'm going to look it up.
for dry aging
what am I-
beef.
Guys, this is my
Patrick, this one says 34 to 36 as well. So we're gonna take your 52.
Well, why is it telling me something else?
I don't know.
ChatGPT 4 says 32 to 39.
All right, we're
degrees.
taking. We both put B.
We're getting credit.
We're
for
getting
that.
I need to update my guy.
You do 7 to 7.
Okay, gosh.
All right.
Your guys' scores just sounds better. Is that what we're doing?
Which of the following factors significantly affects the color of cured meats? This is so bad that we can't be wrong to the point that we're. having to
Hold
Google-
on, let me look it up.
I don't think that's true.
Let me ask its older cousin.
We
Let me-
cannot. Okay. Which of the following factors significantly affects the color of cured meats? Nitrite levels, salt particle size, smoking duration, or temperature during curing. Now, I put asterisks next to C and D because those absolutely can affect it as well. But
Significantly, though.
yeah, so I put A.
I put A.
It's A.
8 to 8. And most importantly, we beat everybody else in that room.
Yes, thank
So, we're
goodness.
good. All right. In the context of meat preservation, what is the purpose of using prog powder, number 1, or pink curing salts? The options were enhancing flavor, adding color, controlling microbial growth, or improving texture. In all honesty, B, C, even to some degree, A would work, but I put down C.
All of them are accurate. That
Improving
it's
texture is
it's
the one-
what pink salt does, but in the context of meat preservation,
Yeah.
it is only C.
Yeah.
Correct. C.
All right. So that's 8 to 8.
9 to 9.
9 to 9. Look at us.
I think he only has 8.
No,
Recount.
we're tied. What is the key enzymatic process that occurs during dry aging of beef, leading to increased tenderness and flavor? This is the one where I said you were evil.
Yeah.
Lipolysis, proteolysis, glycolysis, or oxidation. Now, oxidation is obviously the one that's going to negatively affect the color, all of that the most. You think about like the outside of that stuff and it's oxidizing, but that's not what it's asking. It's the enzymatic process that occurs during dry aging of beef to lead to tenderness. So I put A, lipolysis. What'd you put?
I put B.
It is B.
I was thinking, I was like, B sounds like a made up name, but it has to be that because that's the only thing that sounds like it's protein related and it has to break down proteins.
I put, I chose A because lipid.
Yeah.
I figured that's.
But the fat's already tender.
Yeah.
Fat's tender.
All right, well,
All
good
right,
job.
so it comes down to this one. Can John tie it, or is Austin the forever
Shoot,
champ?
we have different answers.
All right.
no.
You're saying there's a chance.
Oh,
All right. In the process of dry aging beef, what is the primary role of the pellicle that forms on the surface of the meat? A, it acts as a natural preservative, extending the shelf life of the beef. It serves as a barrier to prevent moisture loss during the dry aging process. It enhances the development of complex flavors and tenderness in the beef. It provides a protective layer against external contaminations and pathogens. Now, I did also write an asterisk next to D, but I put B. It serves as a barrier to prevent moisture loss during the dry aging process. What'd you put?
I put D.
He did put D. Darn, it's going to be D, isn't it?
Now you're both wrong,
Oh.
so it stays the same.
I'm okay with that.
Which one was it?
They put C. It enhances the development of complex flavors and tenderness in the beef. See, I thought that was the one it least was because I read that one.
pellicle?
I read that one several times and it sounded the least complex. Like that was my problem with the first.
Honestly,
quiz.
I always thought the pellicle, its main, we don't do much with it, but its main purpose, what we know people use it for, was like something to do with smoke adherence.
Can they get a veto in on the last?
Come on. I don't think that
It enhances the
Google didn't even understand.
of complex flavors.
Protects the meat the same way a rind does with cheese. So it would prevent
That sounds like contaminants and pathogens.
to prevent moisture.
That's the one that made the most sense. Like, why would it even enhances the development?
How did you develop these questions?
There was another website, I forgot the name of. It was like something that Iowa State was promoting, and then I had happened to like Google it enough. I found like an old years ago quizzes that they asked, but it was more older stuff, like all the steer questions. So then I grabbed a bunch of them, and then I went into ChatGPT and I went like, do your best to make
this guy is
processing
in love
questions.
with ChatGPT.
Oh, dude, me and him are tight. But then you have to like it's a 50 question thing because then like it wants to spit out like, well, what's the purpose of a grinder? And I go, dude, come on, it's you and me here. I go, let's get down to it. So I have to prompt
harder.
Try that, harder. I go, or do things like this, make it like this. Ask about enzyme. Ask about very specific things.
This one is very important though because the technical name for this is the pellicle. The pellicle protects the meat the same way a rind does with cheese. It holds in moisture during the aging process.
Yeah, but it depends on what
That
you read
is
because
B.
mine says it's a highly concentrated. So it doesn't make sense. It's highly concentrated in flavoring, can be used. Safe product, safe to eat. Like it's flavor. It talks about like you're using it for flavor.
Okay, but that's definitely not yours.
No, but I'm totally good with us both getting it wrong.
No, mine is correct.
I think mine's correct
I'm
too.
on how to trim dry aged steak.
I think all of them are technically
correct. What are you on?
correct.
Like where's your source?
I'm on ChatGPT 4.
You realize that ChatGPT has been getting more things wrong, right?
Ask it a hard question right now. It won't give you the answer. It'll just give you A, B, C, or D, and then you guys can.
No, it's fine. I'm fine losing
Question.
this.
No, you're not. We just have a 5-minute conversation about how we're not. So why?
Hold on. Hang on tight. Searching the web. We're going to find one. Here's a hard question about beef and cattle. What's the most common breed of cattle used for beef production in the United States?
You just saw the answer.
No, I haven't seen the answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Okay, I've seen the answer, but you still have to answer it. You still have to answer it.
Then you get to ask ChatGPT one. So he asked you the one.
You pull it up and ask us a question.
I did won't let me. All right.
Okay. Well, I'll ruin it. It's Angus.
See, that would have been perfect.
You could have got that one. That like what else? What else were you gonna guess? Angus is the guess there.
Heritage? I don't know. Or Hereford, whatever it is. Dude, I cannot stop eating this.
I can't do it. It wants me to sign in.
I think it's sick.
You should have, if you go to Bing, you can use ChatGPT on there and you get it through us. Like, I don't know, something we do here because we do everything Microsoft. It's like, if you go to ChatGPT, it's different, but use it through Bing and you can ask it anything over and over and over and over. No limits on stuff.
Is that how you limit yourself?
No, let's move on. I lost. So I'm down 1. I was up 1 on the previous one. So we both have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was waiting for you.
What?
Are you counting how many questions we got wrong?
I was counting how many I got right.
Oh, okay. So we got 1, 2, 3.
It was 10-9.
Right. But there isn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 6 wrong. You got 5 wrong. You got.
Why are you such a pessimist? Look at what you got right.
No. Because the point of this is what we got wrong. So there are blank spaces on the wheel.
Oh no!
Yes,
I thought we were just having fun.
No. This is the wheel of sausage.
Oh.
So because you got 1 wrong on the last one, I got them all right. We have equal numbers of blank spaces. So we both have 6 spaces empty on our wheel.
How many spaces are there?
That's a good question. We'll have to figure that out.
Okay.
But basically, if you spin on grinder and you get a blank, you're going to have to go find ground meat or chop it up really fine.
Ooh, and that's bad.
Yeah.
From personal experience, recent personal experience, you get ground beef from the store and try to make sausage with it, and it will not turn out the way that it's supposed to. Will not.
Mixing is incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're done with that. Patrick, good job, even though we overrode you on numerous ones. No, I don't want to be.
fine.
I don't want to be wrong here.
It hits the level of like, it is asking a very tough question that I couldn't know the answer to. So it's like, who am I to tell a robot he's wrong? So.
Sure. Okay. The biggest news to come out of Wichita, Kansas in quite some time is that my community that I live in has a Facebook group page, and somebody stopped me while I was walking my dogs the other day and said, "Was that you? Did you report that?" Or I said something about mountain lions, and they go, "Was that you? Did you report?" I was like, "That was in Parsons, Kansas." She goes, "Oh no, somebody reported seeing a mountain lion in your tree line this weekend."
That's amazing.
Now, I've been trying to gain access to this group, but they're wisely not approving my, even though I live in the development, they're wisely not approving my request.
What?
Why? What would you bring to the party?
They shouldn't let
you
me
like
know what they're up to.
Are you like a known troublemaker?
Yes. They should not let me know what they're up to. That would be foolish for them.
What are you going to do?
This can't be surprising to you that my neighbors are leery of me
You were on your like HOA board at one time, weren't
and
you?
then demanded to be kicked off because they wouldn't listen to my ridiculous requests to disband the HOA. That was all I would bring up every time. Like, we just need to disband the HOA. So, but anyways, so I think probably most likely what happened is somebody saw Brutus and just didn't see that I was out there with him, because he's about the size of a mountain lion.
Brutus is bigger than a mountain lion.
Well, a big mountain lion then. And people probably think mountain lions are bigger than they are, I would imagine.
I gotta look.
I mean, a really big mountain lion weighs like 220 pounds. Brutus is like 200 pounds. He's the right color. He's got a long tail. So,
yeah. So as little as 64, as much as 220. That's a big range.
it is a very big range. The males are significantly larger than the females.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it with like just the muscles in their forearms and shoulders? Forget it. You'd have zero chance. I'd have a chance.
Forget it.
You wouldn't.
They're demolishing you. They could look at you and you're gonna run. Me, I stand in the
I'd probably
face.
take it.
It's probably a good thing if someone just, saw Brutus, thought it was a mountain lion. But that's kind of disappointing.
That it wasn't actually mountain lion. Yeah. So I stopped and told this lady who was walking her kid back where I walk my dogs off leash. I'm like, hey, just so you know, like somebody saw a mountain lion and you should either not have that kid out here or have a gun on you. And she just kind of looked at me strange. I was like, yeah, I need to not talk so much to random people. All right, moving on. Patrick, this is where make a note of this. You'll have to insert these videos. All right, watch this. Why is it not? Oh.
I love that.
This is a guy walking you into.
Like a dry age cooler?
It's not a dry age cooler. It's a dry age, like, airport hangar. There's over $10 million in beef. Look at it. Look at that.
That's a lot of meat.
Nice.
There are racks everywhere. They go over. There's like a path down the middle. It is unreal. Over $10 million in beef in that room. I mean, am I right in saying it's like an airport hangar size?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
All right, now this
It's massive.
has nothing to do with meat, but I need one of these. I must have this. That is
that
a dog.
It's just a dog?
Look at that.
It looks like they tried to like Frankenstein a couple dog carriers together.
Oh, yeah.
And that thing is eating through it.
It's eating through it to the point where they had to wrap ropes around it, and now it's eating the ropes. Have you ever seen Ghostbusters,
No.
Patrick?
Yeah, I've seen.
You know the demon dogs at the top?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's what this dog looks like. I don't know what kind of dog it is, but I have to find out because I need that dog.
It must be the dog off Sandlot. That's the only thing
Scary.
can
No,
really
that
relate
dog's
to.
a English Mastiff. They're not. Brutus is way scarier than that dog.
You must be awesome at parties. Actually,
Actually,
that's just an English mastiff.
well, you're
It's
talking
not-
about something that I know about. Good point, Patrick. Sorry.
Someone brings up a topic, you know.
Sorry.
No. I'm just saying, hey, you know my topics, but that was
Hey, I am trying to get better at that.
no. I like it. I think it's funny.
Okay. All right. So we talked about our buffalo wing snack sticks, all those flavors. We talked about jalapeno bread. Monique poisoning me with those pralines. Did we talk about giving away what I'm going to do with the electric sausage stuffer?
Nope.
Okay. So when I pulled that electric sausage stuffer out, used it, worked great, made 20 pounds of pork, 5 pounds of beef, and have zero concerns with it whatsoever. And I want to have the most recent one out there. So during one of our live streams in the month of November, we will be drawing a winner for my previous version of the 30-pound stuffer. It will come with the motor, the handle, all the stuffing tubes you would get, basically everything. So somebody is going to win a 30-pound electric sausage stuffer. And so that everybody can know who did win and didn't win it, we'll probably do it during, you want to do it to kick off November? November's live stream?
That wouldn't be bad.
Okay. So that's going to be on the 1st on Wednesday, or are we moving that to the 31st so that we can still do a podcast that week? I'd say let's move it to the 31st so we can, well, no, why don't we move the podcast and then we'll still do the live stream on the 1st?
We could do that.
Okay. So we'll need the three of us to huddle at some point and figure out what day we're moving the podcast to. But for those of you who are listening to this on the 27th, on the 1st, we're going to have our monthly live stream. And during that live stream, I will be drawing a winner for a 30-pound electric stuffer that has seen extensive testing. Cool.
Hey, I got a question. Can we get our items on the Price is Right? You know how you see kind of like, you know, there'll be a kayak on there, and I'm like, you know, who wants a kayak? Or you see like, you know, things as like small as like a couple Polaroid camera, you know, but like what if there was like electric sausage stuffer set from Walton's, and then they do their whole little spiel over and people have to guess, you know, the price on our little mini showcase. What's the process? How do you get on that show?
That's a really good question. I'm sure that's like
that's expensive.
advantage of working like with a marketing firm. They probably have like those weird little connections.
They're probably already they got set items.
That's what I'd guess.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you could get on. You just pay for it. It's all
You think it's
product placement. You just pay for your spot. Yeah.
So instead of like a magazine X amount, they probably, how much you think they want? They probably like 30 grand to be on like certain, they
For
probably
just
have
one time,
probably
though.
some are probably more expensive than others on certain spots of the show.
Sure.
Oh,
I'd bet it's
Yeah,
just a
no
couple
idea.
$1,000.
dude,
For most of it.
I don't know.
That's one of the most watched daytime television
Is it
shows
really?
running. I mean, think about it. What's been longer
All
on
right,
the air?
so just real quick though, are you talking about like, you're not talking about like the Showcase Showdown? You're just
like,
talking about that.
just one of those. Yeah,
Okay.
but you know, it depends on, maybe it's part of a game or
Do
something.
those things usually have brands though?
Oh yeah, dude.
They do.
It's
Okay.
the most. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Maybe like if it's jet ski or
Right,
something.
yeah,
Else,
yeah.
it's like, could it be specific? Yeah, I think they
Like they say
Lean-
Kawasaki.
yeah,
jet ski.
Sea-Doo. Yeah, they'll lean into brands big time
Okay.
on stuff.
What brought that question up?
I don't know. I just jotted it down. I was daydreaming and I was like, I bet you we'd be cool on the Price is Right.
I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing, and
What do you? I'm talking. We're thinking about topics to talk.
yeah, I
about.
was just making fun of you.
That's, hey, you hear that?
All right, moving on to Meat
I
Matters.
think that kind of relate to horseplay, and that's in the handbook. Is a fireball.
No
fence.
horseplay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We haven't even said. I must
Bull
ask
play
you a
is
question
fine,
once.
but no
about
horseplay.
it.
We don't do horseplays here or horses here.
Yeah, steer play is cool.
All right. So USDA details new organic livestock and poultry standards. So there's 6 key standards. It's outdoor space for the organic poultry must be at least 75% soil and include vegetation to the degree possible. So we're in the first rule and we're already using vague language. To the degree possible. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
There's no soil for them because I have them on these concrete pads.
I think people do that specifically so that then they can move it to someone who has an opinion that they can force and push on people. Because if you just make it black and white, then it's just letter of the law says this, that, one or the other, where it's like, well, if you make it vague, then someone can push it and push a little further and push a little further and push a little further. one way or another, good or bad.
Interesting.
Could go either way.
So I was looking at it at the way like, hey, I can't give them any more. There's no room for it. But you're saying they could come in and say, no, you could tear up all this concrete and then give them soil. Okay. Interesting.
I don't like it.
All right, 2, indoor-outdoor living conditions. Shelters must allow for laying down, standing up, turn around, fully stretch limbs and wings, and express natural behavior such as rooting in pigs and scratching in chickens. That makes sense to me. Like,
yeah,
I think it's probably mostly a problem with the chickens. I know that they have them in incredibly tiny enclosures sometimes. But poultry stocking densities. The rules set specific requirements for an indoor and outdoor stocking densities to align with advisory board recommendations, third-party animal welfare standards, and public comments from organic stakeholders. That means nothing. Everything I just read there does not mean anything. There's no rule laid out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means nothing. So we're down to 5. Preventative healthcare practices. Procedures must maintain preventative healthcare practices that include sufficient nutrition and comprehensive parasite prevention plans. Animals must be treated with allowed medicines to minimize pain, stress, and suffering. All necessary treatment must be administered even if the animal loses its organic status. So that's interesting. They're saying, if you have to give it this antibiotic to keep it healthy, you still have to give it the antibiotic. You just can no longer claim that it's organic. How do we feel about that?
Probably fine.
Okay. I don't know. Just seems like, go try to make all of this organic. But if you do anything that's not organic, you still have to do it, even if it's now would be more cost effective to just kill the animal, because that's coming up. Physical alterations and euthanasia. Physical alterations are permitted only for identification purposes or the safety of the animals, and certain alterations are prohibited altogether. Alterations must be performed at a young age for the species and in a manner that minimizes the animal's pain and stress. Humane euthanasia may only be used if the treatment is not an option. So they can't just decide, I don't want to pay, $5,000 to get this 24-year-old horse, whatever they want. I just want to kill it. They can't do that. They have to go through and do the treatment. Horse is a bad example there. I just thought of that because I know they get old. Something that we eat, a cow.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Does it apply like per animal or to the whole farm? Because so if it's per animal, you just go, well, this one's not going to make organic anymore. So
right.
Let's move it over here and then we can euthanize it.
I would imagine it's just per animal. It's got to be per animal. All right. And then the last one's just basically they have to take into account heat and cold when they're transferring the animals if it's more than like 8 hours. So I don't see a ton of information there, really. I think you're right. I think they are keeping everything intentionally vague so that they can just do whatever they want to do. Okay. All right. We're running pretty far behind, so let's save the rest of Meat Matters for next week. Let me look through real quick. They found more kids working in a Ohio poultry plant illegally cleaning. The meat industry has a real problem with underage working.
I don't know. I mean, it probably just depends on what they're doing because you can
cleaning
some of the.
This has all been cleaning equipment.
What does cleaning entail? I mean, cleaning could be totally fine. We have kids that work here that are less than 18 years old. They're in high school. They come in and they work, I don't know, maybe 10 hours a week if they're lucky, 5 to 10 hours a week. They work just enough. They get some spending money. They have to do something. It's okay to employ them, but like, what are you doing? Like they can't, for us, like we can't have someone under 18 run a lawnmower,
right?
Run our Pico machines for sharpening grinder plates and knives. Like there's certain things we can't do, but there are certain things like they could go pull an order.
But there's a bottom age. Like you can't have a 8-year-old running back there pulling orders,
Sure.
right?
I don't know
Neither do I.
what that actual cutoff
Uh-huh.
is, but yeah, I remember one of the news stories was talking about like a 17-year-old, and I'm like, what? So what are they doing? Because a 17-year-old ought to be able to do something, but are they like cleaning with caustic chemicals?
Right.
Yeah, bad plan.
Bad idea. Yeah.
If they need to take a brush and scrub a grinder pan, like that's not that bad. Come on.
Yeah. How old did you say? Did you say 17?
Mhm.
Yeah, then who cares? Absolutely. Like I was working not full-time, but like full-time summers from the time I was like 14 on, right? And doing all sorts of things. T-shirt printing companies, like, yeah. But 8-year-olds should not be in anything with.
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to skip everything else because we're running way behind and I really want to talk about this wild card story.
Okay.
So this is one that I've known about for a really long time, and it just kind of popped in my head that this would be a cool one to share. You hear about, Discovery does that stupid Shark Week every year where they like, is the megalodon still out there? And it's not, but I find this super interesting. This is a story I heard about a long time ago. It's from like the early 1900s in Port Lincoln, Australia. But they're talking to some, they call them cray pot fishermen, but it's lobster fishermen. It's the same thing. They were working on a wharf. There had just been a huge storm coming up. And they said they were seeing this vast underwater shark. Now their ranges for how long it was vary widely. One person said it was about 115 feet long. Somebody else said it was 300 feet long.
Okay, now come on.
Right. So that's obviously a little ridiculous. But they said it was going up and grabbing pots full of crayfish that were like 5 to 6 feet wide, each carrying like 40 to 50 pounds of lobsters and just munching it straight down. They all held to their story for like their entire lives. None of them ever went back out into a fishing boat. And the one thing they all said about it was that it was just like ghostly white. It was an albino enormous shark, which would make sense if we think that it's from the deepest dark depths of the ocean. If that's where it is, it would be albino at that point. It would stay down there and it would have no use for pigment and it would lose that. Megalodon?
Well, I don't know. I'm still kind of debating what side to fall on here. What side are you on?
Oh, you know what side I'm on. I want it to be true so badly. So badly. But yeah. No, it's most reasonable thing I've heard is that it was actually just a whale shark. While that behavior would be weird for a whale shark, they're plankton eaters. And there have been examples of them as albinos. Whale sharks grow to be like 35 feet, I think, somewhere around that range. So that would make a lot more sense.
I could say it's legit. So normally, like the largest whale in the world, blue whale, reaches just over like 100 feet. So yeah, if you had something that was 115 plus feet, it's a big something, and maybe people mistook it for a shark, or maybe it's just it was a whale, but it's super aggressive. I could see it actually being something. It may not be like a great white shark that got that big, but is a fish of some sort that got massive. Not 300 feet. I don't think I believe the 300 feet, but
I don't think there's anything or ever been anything that large on because the largest animal to ever exist on planet Earth exists right now. It's the blue whale, and that's not 300 feet. How long is a blue whale?
Like that's what I was reading. Is the largest whale in the world? I can't say world. Antarctic blue whale.
Okay. How long is it?
100 feet, 190 tons.
Say rear wheel drive.
No.
Yeah, it's a hard one, right? Okay. American hippo ranching almost became a reality. If you like Beyond Meat patties, wait till you try this beef alternative. In 1910, America had two big problems to solve: a shortage of meat and an abundance of invasive water hyacinth. choking off the Mississippi River Delta. Congressman Robert Broussard proposed a bold solution. He suggested the importation of exotic livestock, including hippopotami, into the U.S. Broussard's proposal would have resulted in one of the biggest land grabs in United States history, along with one of the most disastrous ecological and economic collapses in the world. I don't understand why they're saying it would be one of the biggest economic collapses in the world. Now, do I agree that it would have been a disaster? Yes. Having hippopotamus run across the Mississippi, not a good idea.
Yeah, it sounds very dangerous.
What do we have that could possibly hunt a hippopotamus?
Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, grizzly can't take it. They're just too big and they just would run away, go right into the water. Polar bears, I don't think would take a hippopotamus. I don't think.
I would. My money's on the hippo.
It's basically like a crocodile, and not a full-grown hippo either.
Mm-hmm.
And elephants can mess up hippos hippos will sometimes get a little mouthy with the elephants, and they'll go mess them up. So, also, Mason showed me a picture of what does in fact look like a wolf. Eating a cat in Parsons, Kansas. I did not know we had wolves in Kansas, but apparently we do have some packs of wolves. It was very mangy, though. It did not look like a cool wolf.
Interesting.
Do you remember a couple years ago, maybe it was this year, the black wolf that was loose up in Kansas City?
Huh.
No?
I don't know that.
Okay. There's this black wolf, and it was clearly a wolf, and it was big and looked well fed, roaming around neighborhoods in Kansas City. All right. Are you looking that up?
I was going to, but no.
Go ahead.
We're moving on.
No, I don't even think we're moving on. I think we're 10 minutes over. I don't think the last wild card's important enough to hang on for.
I want to see if there was a picture of the Kansas City Wolf. You get
Look
the
up
pictures of the
Kansas City
Chiefs
Black Wolf.
mascot.
Is it a wolf? Oh, that's right.
You know how NFL
That guy
teams
was
have
stealing.
weird- Yeah.
Do you remember the
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't believe that turned out to be true. Yeah, like the Titans mascot's a raccoon.
Why?
In Tennessee, I don't know, country thing. I didn't make that decision, but
We have a pig
sure. Yeah.
and a Labrador.
I wish you guys go more with the pig stuff. Yeah, where'd the Labrador come from? I've never even heard of that. Is that
Yeah.
like a owner had a dog or something?
I think it's a bomb sniffing dog, and I think they switch it every year.
That could be cool. I mean, why was that not considered for like mascot or anything like that? There's probably a cool nickname in there. The Sniffers.
Yeah, I still hate the Commanders,
Well, according to Lids, you're still the Washington football team.
which is weird.
Go to
There you
Lids, go to lids.com, hover above and go to NFL teams, and then see at the bottom it'll say Washington football team.
No, you showed him. I believe you.
No, I know.
You showed it to me.
I'm talking to an audience of
Oh,
people. Who
sorry.
don't know.
So here's.
God, this guy.
Well, that's just sweet.
wait till that's clearly a wolf,
Yeah.
and it's and it's not a small one.
Yeah. It's 100. It's gotta be over 100 pounds.
Oh, for sure.
120 pounds.
Yep. Can you imagine just walking your dog? You've got some little tiny. What's the friendliest dog? Golden Retriever. You've got some Golden Retriever and it sees that thing. It's just going to pee all over itself immediately, just out of fear. I might pee all
crazy.
over myself
Yeah,
immediately
that
out of
cat.
fear.
That cat was like, "Oh, dude, I think that's my cousin." No, it's not.
Get away! Get away!
You think it had a good chase for a second, or it was just like, "Oh, I'm dead."
Crunch.
It's
Yep.
over.
Lays down and gives up.
Or maybe, yeah.
All right. That's it.
That's all we got.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.